Hi everyone, welcome to this channel. I am William. Thank you for joining me here. Over the next couple of minutes, we're going to explore one of the most urgent questions for audit professionals today. Where does internal audit fit in the governance of artificial intelligence? Before I start, please feel free to subscribe to this channel and watch this e-learning video until the end, as this would give us the moral supports to produce more e-learning videos continuously. Let's begin. AI is no longer just an IT topic. It's a boardroom issue, touching strategy, ethics, operations, compliance, and reputation. Regulators are catching up, and failures in AI can mean financial loss, bias, regulatory fines, or even systemic risk. But here's the challenge. Most organizations have brilliant data scientists and ambitious AI pilots, yet governance often lags behind. That gap is exactly where internal audit must step in, not as a blocker, but as an enabler of responsible innovation. First, let's remind ourselves what makes AI governance different from traditional IT governance. 1. Opacity. Many advanced models are black boxes. You can't simply review the code like you would a rule-based system. 2. Continuously changing behavior. Unlike static software, AI models can drift, learn from new data, and degrade over time. That means a system that passed validation in January might be failing by July. 3. Systemic and ethical impact. AI decisions can affect thousands of customers or employees instantly. Think loan approvals, hiring, fraud detection. A hidden bias or logic error scales at machine speed. Because of these traits, traditional controls, segregation of duties, change management, manual reconciliations are necessary but not sufficient. We need a governance framework that is dynamic, cross-functional, and risk-based. And internal audit is uniquely positioned to evaluate that framework because we already understand control design, risk assessment, and objective assurance. Let's ground this in a familiar model. The 3 lines of defense. First line, AI owners and developers. They are responsible for building and using AI within defined risk appetite. This includes documenting purpose, data provenance, and model performance. Second line, risk, compliance, legal, and now often an AI ethics function. They set policies, standards, tools, and training for responsible AI. They also monitor regulatory changes. Third line, internal audit. We provide independent assurance over the design and effectiveness of governance, risk management, and controls across the AI lifecycle. Crucially, internal audit does not own the risks, nor do we design the controls, but we evaluate whether the first and second lines are doing their jobs adequately. This is not about auditing every algorithm, it's about auditing the governance system around AI. I see internal audit playing 3 primary roles in AI governance. 1. Assurance over the AI governance framework. We ask, is there a clear AI risk appetite? Are roles and responsibilities assigned? Do model risk management, data governance, and vendor management cover AI? Are there escalation paths for AI incidents? 2. Advisory on emerging risks and control maturity. We don't wait for failure. We can proactively assess readiness for new AI regulations, review AI procurement practices, or suggest leading indicators for model drift. 3. Integration with existing audit plans. Don't create a separate AI audit silo. Instead, embed AI considerations into financial, operational, IT, and compliance audits. For example, in procurement audit, review AI vendor contracts for liability and audit rights. In HR audit, review AI-based recruiting tools for bias. In collections audit, review AI scoring models for fairness. This integration ensures AI governance isn't an isolated initiative. It becomes part of how you run the business. Let me walk you through a concrete example. Imagine your organization uses an AI model to recommend loan approvals. Internal audit is asked to provide assurance over governance of that model. We would not rebuild the model. Instead, we would test 5 key governance controls. 1. Model inventory and risk ranking. Is this model documented, classified as high risk and subject to heightened oversight? 2. Data governance. Was the training data representative? Are there controls to detect data drift post-deployment? 3. Performance monitoring. Does the business track accuracy, fairness metrics, for example, disparate impact, and operational outcomes monthly? 4. Change management. Can the model be updated without proper validation and approval? We test for shadow changes. 5. Incident response. Is there a process for customer complaints about AI decisions? How quickly can the model be overridden or deactivated? If any of these controls are missing or weak, we issue findings, not about the math, but about the governance environment. This approach respects the technical complexity while holding the organization accountable for managing risk. To do this work effectively, internal auditors don't need to become data scientists, but we do need to understand relevant frameworks. COSO's internal control framework remains foundational. It applies perfectly to AI. Think control environment, risk assessment, information and communication, monitoring. NIST AI Risk Management Framework, AIRMF, is the current gold standard. It breaks down AI risk into 4 functions: govern, map, measure, manage. Each has actionable outcomes. ISO 42001, the first international standard for AI management systems. It provides a certification path for mature organizations. COBIT, excellent for IT and data governance overlays. Your audit plan should reference one or more of these frameworks. That gives credibility and comparability. Let me highlight 3 common pitfalls when auditing AI governance. Pitfall 1. Auditing too late. If you wait until the model is in production, you may find weak governance but miss opportunities to influence design. Remedy: get involved in AI development governance early, even as an observer. Attend model risk committee meetings. Pitfall 2. Overfocusing on technical accuracy. It's tempting to ask, is the model correct? But that's model validation, not internal audit. Remedy: stay at the governance level. Ask, who validated correctness? What was their methodology? Did they follow policy? Pitfall 3. Ignoring vendor AI. Many organizations buy AI as a service from Salesforce, Microsoft, or specialized vendors. Governance often stops at the contract. Remedy: audit third-party AI risk management, vendor due diligence, right to audit, continuous monitoring of vendor model updates. Avoid these, and you add real value without overstepping your role. Now, a practical question. Does every internal auditor need to become an AI expert? No, but the team does need new competencies. Minimum for the whole team. Understanding of basic AI concepts, supervised versus unsupervised, training versus inference, bias types. Familiarity with AI regulations relevant to your industry. Ability to read a model risk management policy. For specialized AI auditors, 1 to 2 people in larger teams, knowledge of NIST AIRMF, ISO 42001. Ability to evaluate data lineage and feature engineering documentation. Basic SQL or Python. Helpful but not mandatory. Collaborate with data governance or IT audit. Actionable step. In the next 6 months, require every auditor to complete a 2-hour online course on AI governance for auditors, for example, from IIA or ISACA. Then, run a tabletop exercise auditing a hypothetical AI use case. This is achievable and immediately useful. When you report on AI governance, avoid technical jargon. The audit committee cares about risk, control, and action. A good AI governance report includes an inventory of high-risk AI uses by function, vendor, or customer impact. Assessment of the governance framework against a recognized standard, for example, NIST AIRMF. Key gaps identified, for example, no model drift monitoring or unclear accountability for AI ethics. Management's remediation plan with dates. Overall opinion: is AI governance effective, partially effective, or ineffective? One critical recommendation: push for a standing AI risk committee or cross-functional working group that includes legal, compliance, data science, and business owners. Audit should have a standing invitation to observe, not as a member, but as an independent evaluator. This elevates AI governance from a compliance exercise to a strategic risk discipline. Before we close, let's look ahead 12 to 18 months. Generative AI, ChatGPT, Copilot, custom LLMs, creates new governance challenges. Employees may use public Gen AI tools on sensitive data. That's a data leakage risk. Internal chatbots may hallucinate or give bad advice to customers. Agentic AI, systems that take actions without human approval, amplifies control risks. Internal audit's role here is to ask, is there a policy for approved Gen AI use? Are outputs reviewed before acting? Is there an inventory of agentic systems? We don't need to wait for regulation. Start with pilot audits of Gen AI usage in customer service, HR, or software development. Proactive assurance here builds trust and prevents embarrassing headlines. Let me summarize. First, AI governance is too important to be left only to data scientists. Internal audit has a clear, non-negotiable role in providing independent assurance over the control environment. Second, you don't need to become a programmer. You need frameworks, NIST, COSO, a risk-based approach, and a willingness to ask sharp governance questions: who decides, who monitors, who escalates. Third, start now. Start small. Pick one high-risk AI use case in your organization this quarter. Review its governance, not its code. Document what's working and what's missing. That single pilot will teach you more than any theoretical training. The goal isn't to stop innovation. It's to make sure AI is deployed with eyes wide open, and internal audit provides those eyes. That's the end of my sharing today. If you found this e-learning is useful, please feel free to subscribe to this channel and share it out with your friends and colleagues. Thank you, and have a great day ahead.